Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Lights Thunder Action will be with you after these songs.
Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blowing up, not enough love for my cup. Trying only to look up, even as a baby I knew what's up. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blowing up, not enough love for my cup. Trying only to look up, even as a baby I knew what's up. Ran away for college, trying to obtain that knowledge for baby boy Thomas to know himself is flawless. I was growing up in bondage, theoretic mind unpolished, locked it up like a hostage, cause I was constantly admonished by my family, by my friends. I'm the weird kid yet again. It's me off and I demolish you. Nothing but the honest truth, it will just astonish you. Put you in a lago too, only keep a couple few people close to me, but who? That is for me, not you, but please know that I love you too. Keep you in my heart and mind, and I will always root for you. Succeed and love your life, even get a husband, wife. Just here to make art for the soul, express my strife. But if I find a goddess, then I gotta be honest. I'll give her my entire heart, no need for being modest. All these thoughts driving through this town, it's honestly ironic. When I left at 18, said I'm never coming back, I promise. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Ghetto boy was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back and stuck here now, hoping things and change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Ghetto boy was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back and stuck here now, hoping things and change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Panama City, politicians always clown. After Hurricane Michael, they left us all to drown. 5 million stole from FEMA, yeah, they thought they'd get a crown. Good old boy syndrome is the only party in this town. Kick them out of office, tear the entire system down. Charge $500 a month while liars lay up on the fracking ground. No power, no phone, but we're paying for it anyway. Set the rest on fire, profits over people is the way. Burn them all down, take our money back, let them pray. Beat them to the fishes and the sharks up in the bay. Take this fight national, the phonies always stray from doing what the people want, they just look to prey on our fears and feed us lies through propaganda every day. Set us against each other so that we just fray and weaken our defenses. Yes, this is their play, so vote them out of office and please don't forget to spay.
This is Thomas Tyrannic reminding you to please spay or neuter your politicians by voting them out of office and petitioning for term limits in the Senate and Congress. God bless America.
Hello, I'm Thor, son of Dale, here to tell you about the Life of Thor Productions official shop. The only place where you can get your official merchandise for the Lights Thunder Action podcast and Life of Thor's Thor Watches series. Whether you want t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, mugs, and masks, Life of Thor Productions official shop has you covered. If you happen to recognize there's an item that you would like to buy that is not in the official shop, head over to the Lights Thunder Action podcast or Life of Thor and request that item, because if you want it, we'll sell it. Just head to lotproductions.threadless.com/collections to get the item that calls out to you via the Force. Again, that is lotproductions.threadless.com/collections. Thank you and have a Thor-tastic day.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Welcome to episode 58 of Lights Thunder Action, where every week two Thunder buddies discuss all things Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and the latest happenings in the entertainment industry. I'm Thomas Carter Rochester, aka Glasses One.
And I'm David Thompson, Glasses 2, I suppose. And coming up on today's show, we've got a fun show for you all. The box office is back. It's genuinely back this time. It feels like we're going to talk about that. We had a big weekend at the box office. Also, some interesting comments from the Sony Pictures president about the future of Spider-Man in the MCU and their Sonyverse going on over there. And finally, there's more news coming with all of that. And also at the end, we're going to give some of our thoughts on the upcoming season of Loki and some things we want to see from it. That starts next Wednesday already. We're only 6 days away now. It's kind of flown by, I think, the gap between Falcon the Winter Soldier and now to Loki. And I'm just excited to get it rolling. Wednesdays are the new Thursdays or Fridays, sorry, and I can't wait to get it going. But Thomas, what do you got for me?
That's a great question. I was confused because I was like, no, man, listen, Loki's Day is the new Wednesday. Like that's what popped in my head. But anyways, away from our own branding, that's a lie. Every week we're live streaming directly into your homes and phones via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We're split in a lot of places. Did I say Twitter? I meant Twitter. Over the HWWS WebTV on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and then our LightsThunderAction Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Boy, we're everywhere, aren't we, David? It's
Absolutely.
So hard to keep track of them. So much so that I forgot to post the graphic. You can find all these at Linktr.com/LightsThunderAction, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces. David, if they don't want to look at our ugly mugs, even though our glasses are really nice today, where can they listen to our beautiful voices?
Yeah, you can find the audio version of our podcast, of our live show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and our hosting site, Spreaker. We're also available on a lot of other platforms, so please let us know if you can't find us, but we should be anywhere you're looking for us. Full catalog of episodes and live shows is all on there. We did pretty recently move over feeds. Look for our new logo. If you are seeing the old feed, just try to find our new logo by Tom Drew Art. That we revealed like a few weeks ago. Please go ahead. Yes, there you go. Find that one, subscribe, like, give us a review or a rating or a star or whatever you do on those different audio podcast feeds. Help us out. We really appreciate all of that. But hey, Thomas, how you doing?
We made it, David. We're here. We're alive. Frak it. We are doing it live, man. I feel so underprepared for today's show. I can't lie to you, man. I'm good, dude. I have been filming, living the dream, making money, doing what I love. And I didn't wear the glasses just to pull them off dramatically, but I'm going to do it because I'm here, because I want to stay low key. But thank you for laughing at how stupid that was. Dude, I'm great. I've been having some fun being an idiot on set, just doing really dumb stuff. I have some great behind the scenes videos of things that I wanted to do at a location we were doing, and so I had somebody record it. It's hilarious, David. When we're in person, I'll have to show you because I'm not allowed to send it out, legally speaking. But not only that, I finished a whole new audiobook trilogy. I haven't had a day off since April, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of lose track of things. But hey, David, how are you, man? You're a working man over there.
Yeah. I'm doing good. with my button up. I found this at it wasn't a Goodwill, it was a one of those
Ross Marshalls.
No, Plato's Closet.
Okay.
Where it's like outlet, the secondhand deal where anyway, really love this shirt. It's like a 90s style, like it's like oversized polo shirt. Really love it. Excited to be here, feeling loose and relaxed today. But yeah, honestly, I've been great. And a big part of that, I'm gonna swing right into it, is because I saw 2 movies last weekend. I saw A Quiet Place 2 on Thursday night opening, which was awesome in theaters. I saw it in the RPX at Regal, which is their fancy schmancy, not quite IMAX experience. And then I also saw Cruella the next day, Friday night, and I enjoyed both. I don't have much of a review. I'm not really going to dive too much into it, but Quiet Place 2 to me was better than the first one. I normally hate scary movies, but I like this franchise. Krasinski is a great director, and this movie is more of an adventure to it than the first one, and I really appreciated that. Cillian Murphy is really good in it. He's a new addition to the franchise, and I really enjoy him. Emily Blunt can do no wrong, and then also Emma Stone can really do no wrong. She really carries that Cruella movie, which I thought was a delight. The Cruella movie, unlike A Quiet Place, which is like a perfectly tight, like an hour and a half movie, Cruella was a bit longer than I would have liked. There was a certain point, maybe like 20 minutes out from when it actually ended, that I was thinking, is this about to end right now? And then 20 minutes, and then there was like an extra 20 minutes. But they were both really good movies. We're going to get to the box office in a second, but I really enjoyed being back in the theater. I mean, I've been back, but for a proper, like, a lot of people were back this weekend. For a lot of people, this was their first weekend back. It was cool being there on a Thursday night for a relatively big movie in Quiet Place. And yeah, it's so much fun. I've also, for what I've been watching lately, I've been doing a mini like Pixar rewatch, and I just finished Cars 2, which isn't great. But Thomas, what have you been watching?
So a long time ago in a town far, far away of Melbourne, Florida, in 2018, David goes, "Hey man, I went and saw that movie Ken. It's really good. You should go see it." 3 years later, I finally saw it. Son of a bitch, man. That's a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's not it was going along, and I was like, man, I'm really intrigued by this. It's basically a heist film, mixed into a on the run film, mixed into an alien invasion film is what it feels like at times.
Yeah.
And then it hits you with a twist, and you're like, oh, interesting. And it ends, and I'm like, I would like to see more of these characters, please. Thank you. Michael B. Jordan, let's do it. I'm ready for the sequel. I'm wondering if they're just waiting for the actor to grow up a little bit more till he's of age, to where then they can make the movie and they don't have to worry about getting a new actor.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope so.
I remember liking that movie a good bit. I hardly remember it. But yeah, it's funny you finally saw it. I don't know if there's any plans for a sequel, but I remember surprisingly like kind of liking it. And in a way, almost the part that I didn't like, I think the most about it was like how it was so overtly trying to set something up where it's like, almost like Alita, which I really liked. Alita Battle Angel. Didn't we see that together, Thomas?
We did see that together.
Yeah.
I think that's the last movie we saw together.
That's crazy.
Anyways, back to happier times.
Yeah, but that movie I think Alita was really good and set up a sequel that like now may never happen, which stinks, but it happens.
Who owned that rights to that film?
Let me look it up. Alita,
because I know that's
Warner
Robert
Brothers?
Rodriguez, and Robert Rodriguez is now in charge of. Well, he's the third dude involved with Book of Boba Fett. He pitched the idea to Favreau, is what I've been reading. Yeah,
interesting.
So the reason Boba Fett is
it was real quick. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox, so now Disney would own Alita. Book of Boba.
Okay,
interesting. Maybe that'll be on Disney Plus at some point.
Alita, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it already is
on Disney Plus.
On the Plus, I do think so. I think I remember it being a thing. Really quick before we jump into my thing, because it's gonna take forever. But we'll do a little comment check. Terry McIver's here as always. I don't know what time it is over there in not so jolly Ireland, but it's early / late. He said cinemas are finally open in Ireland.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Julia said, "Oh no, not a box office episode. Every episode's a box office episode, honestly."
Just one.
Ryan Permerson said it's Morphin time. Yeah, it sure as heck is, man. Favorite Sixth Ranger that's not Tommy might have to go the Quantum Ranger from Time Force. Just saying. Glasses, yes, Mom. Blue light lenses. My head hurts. Don't judge me. Does not appear that Alita is on Disney Plus.
I didn't
That's coming
think so.
from Julia. She also is questioning the Labyrinth art. The only thing that you see in frame that I own is what is on my body, this microphone, and that awesome picture. There we go. Everything else is my buddy, who's in this room right behind me. He might be watching. He's probably not. Shannon Williams is here. He's saying I'm a great actor and fun to watch on set. Zombies the movie. Everyone should go see it when it's actually out, which is not right now because we still have filming to do. That's what I'm doing tomorrow, David. But you asked what I had been doing. We're going to get back to the plot. I have finally finished Thrawn Treason, which means I have now finished the Thrawn trilogy. And oh my gosh, it is amazing. Wow, hey man, my that thing with Photoshop that happened before we went live just finished.
Nice.
Oh man, yes. How many things? It made 256 photos.
Wow.
Yes. Anyways, Thrawn. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I have to go back and like reread like a breakdown of what happened in each book because I listened to all three in like the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So there's just a lot of Thrawn stuffed into my head, and I have to say, this is the hot take, David, that I tease. He might be my new favorite Star Wars character.
Character?
I know.
You're prisoner of the moment.
I will say, if there's a character that is a part of canon that already exists, because we all know I want to make a whole new character in Star Wars. Let's be real. I would play Grand Admiral Thrawn. That would be the dream of a lifetime for 2 reasons. A, I would have so much fun with the voice. Yes. But it's the mannerisms as well. He doesn't exactly show facial expressions. He hides it often. He doesn't smile much. He very rarely emotes. There it is. And he follows logic. And when he starts dressing you down, it's like, is that so? And his favorite word is probably perhaps. So that is, I don't know if I'm a prisoner of the moment, but like, honestly, dude, I really, really dug this character. He's a very gray character.
Yeah.
Terry has broken down. Terry's broken down before in the comments on one episode. He's selfish. He's this, he's that, he's the other. And I am not going to lie. I kind of disagree. I think he's just a genuine military man who has this specific mental ability to categorize everything. If I'm going to be honest, and we had to put it in like real world terms, he's probably like borderline autistic, if not autistic. But so high functioning and so in control of his own mind that it's just a fucking steel trap of information. And that is what makes him succeed, is information. So that's why that's a thing, David. But before we jump into our official ad break, we have to say that Suncoast Fan Fest will be, September 24th to the 26th. And as you can see down here at the very bottom, if you go to suncoastfanfest.com and enter the promo code HANGIN21, that's HANGIN 21 at checkout, you will get 10% off your purchase, and you'll get tickets to the show, man. And it also helps out HWWS, which you want to know a little bit more about. I hear you asking. Okay, sure.
I'm GW Pomichter.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
It's Willow Schuyler.
I'm Cosplay Michael.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys, please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to HWWS
WebTV.
Great bunch of people.
And don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows
and videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon.
So we can cross that 20,000 mark.
And get us to 100,000 subscribers.
To 1 million and 10 million and 100 million.
On HWWS
WebTV.
You'll really like it. I guarantee it. Thank you.
A small town coroner has to team up with her ex-fiancé to save her town from a swarm of mutant honeybees. There's action, drama, humor, maybe even a flamethrower or two. There's definitely a ton of bad bee puns and a very unlikely Hawaiian-wearing hero, dude. This classic sci-fi feature cheese fest, written and directed by Alicia Marie and starring local talent from the Emerald Coast, invites you to join our journey from conception to reception by visiting Linktr.com/zombies the movie to keep up with all the buzz and donate to GoFundMe. Again, that is Linktr.com/zombies the movie, ZOMBEEZ the movie.
Welcome, Glasscock Park, to this glorious day.
Today is your lucky day. We got some great stuff. This is Glasscock Park.
Marvelous.
Thank you.
Come on, let's go, let's go. I don't have all day, people.
Now, it's time.
Tell your friends, huh?
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping. We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go
Technology really fights back sometimes, right? Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get too much further, really, we just again wanted to shout out that Zombies the movie. Tomorrow, I believe, is our last day of filming, which means now we get into the most expensive part of production, which is post-production.
Right.
God, is it expensive doing post-production? So donate at the link that Terry McIver, the social media master, has posted in the comments. Next week will be a zombies featured week, actually. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Winky, winky, hinty, hinty. But now it brings us to everyone's. David, you know you deleted my script, right?
Oh no, I didn't mean to.
How
sorry.
Could you? I don't remember what the words are.
I don't remember deleting that. I didn't mean to.
Oh man, it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna figure out how to use it on my laptop really fast, and then we'll get there. Welcome to Behind the Scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Like you said, we're doing it live today, man.
What the heck?
Anyways, now it's time for this beautiful journalist to my right to enlighten us with new information from across the multiverse. David Thompson works for thedirect.com and the Disinsider. Disinsider.
Yeah,
which is a Disney Insider place, in case you did not know. He's a big deal. He's a real big deal pickle. You see him here every week, and that's why it's everyone's favorite segment.
What the news?
Had to fill for time there.
You did a great job. All right,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen.
First up, as you know, I got to do the headlines because I write these jokes. This one's not really funny. Weekend box office report. David, Who won the weekend?
I'll tell you who won the weekend. A Quiet Place smashed the weekend. So here we go. It was Memorial Day weekend. We had A Quiet Place 2 and Cruella both opening. Got a nice spot for both of them with the Memorial Day. Cruella also available on Disney Plus. We'll get to those numbers in just 1 second. But A Quiet Place 2, it is currently outperforming its original, which is very exciting, especially during this pandemic. And these are okay. First and foremost, these are domestic numbers. So this is not the international box office numbers, but here in the United States and Canada, the domestic box office numbers. During the 3-day period, A Quiet Place grossed $47.4 million. And over the 4-day long weekend, it got $57 million. And by now, it is already past 60, and it's doing great, really. I mean, when I went and saw it, the theater was as packed as it could be with social distancing guidelines and everything. Also, quick thing to throw in here, I believe Regal and Cinemark and AMC are all making masks optional now, which in my mind makes me think that soon they might just throw away all of the guidelines where it comes to like spacing. Because right now when you're booking seats, there has to be a space or two, depending on what theater you're in between your party, which is definitely reducing the amount of people that could shove into a theater. Especially when what I noticed when I saw A Quiet Place and I ordered online, everything on the up top section, like the upper section, was booked out, but not a lot were on the lower section where people don't want to be breaking their necks to see the movie like anyone. But as time goes on, we'll see how these theaters keep reacting to what's happening in the world and here in the United States, especially with reopening these and letting more and more people into the theaters. So there's those numbers. A Quiet Place is doing great. On to Cruella, which I think is a little interesting because it also has the Disney Plus wrinkle into it, but it actually outperformed its projections. 4-day weekend box office, $26.5 million. So a lot less than A Quiet Place, but I think this was, a whole new reimagining, I suppose. A Quiet Place was a sequel.
New world?
Oh, a whole new dark Dalmatian spotted world. And Quiet Place was the first one. A lot of people loved it. It's been highly anticipated. It was delayed 14 months, and I think a lot of people wanted to go out and see this film. It was the one I wanted to see first over the weekend. But here's something directly from Deadline.com about Cruella at Disney Plus. Cruella drew 686,000 U.S. households over the 4-day Memorial Day holiday weekend, according to Tuesday figures from Samba TV. It's a number that's 39% less than the 4-day Labor Day traffic for another Disney Plus premiere title, Mulan, which pulled in 1.12 million U.S. households over September 4th through 7th in 2020. Important to note that Mulan had no theatrical release. It was straight Disney Premier Access. That was the only option for anyone to go see it. So take that all with a grain of salt, because people were, a few people at Disney Insider were kind of talking about this, and it almost seems like instead of Cruella's Disney Plus numbers kind of going into the box office, it was the other way, where more people went to the theater than they were expecting and kind of ate into those Disney Plus numbers more than they maybe thought would. Which is a good sign for the box office and all of us moviegoers that want everything to go back to normal. Altogether, Cruella made $47.07 million in the box office and Disney Plus premiere money in its first weekend. And that's, doing the math of how much it costs and adding on that. So, basically the bottom line here, Thomas, I want to hear your thoughts. Successful weekend for both films. I don't think anything too big. A Conjuring movie is coming out this weekend, but really, I'm excited now to see what happens with Fast and Furious 9, which I didn't throw onto this report, but it's already doing really well in China because it's already out there. I'm very curious to see how that movie will do starting June 25th, I believe. Thomas, you saw this weekend. What did you think?
Exciting. I'm not a scary movie fan, so I never saw Quiet Place 1 because it looked scary to me. So I didn't really want to see the second one. That's not true. I did want to see the second one. When I saw the trailer, I was like, now that is totally different than what the first one seemed to be. But I've also heard really good things about A Quiet Place 1, and it's not actually scary. It's more suspense. I want to go see Cruella. And in fact, my family is coming into town. It took me a second to remember what the hell I was going to say. Next week, like my mom, my sister are coming in town, and I'm like, we should go see Cruella Friday after I get off work.
Yeah.
And the idea is still floating out there in the ether. So hopefully we will go see Cruella, and I won't go see it alone again.
It's a pretty fun movie. I won't lie.
It looked fun.
It's a fun
the trailer.
movie. Yeah.
The trailer was enough to make me go, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I liked it more than my girlfriend Jasmine, who I went with. Like, she thought it was a bit long, but I also kind of psyched her out beforehand and told her the runtime, which she also immediately was like, "Oh no, it's that sounds long." But I will say it was
How long is it?
2 hours and 14 minutes, I believe. So it's like a superhero movie like length, and it's a long, like, you kind of feel it. It tells a lot of a story that you'll know. I think if you go see it, Thomas, you'll know what I'm saying. Where it seems like the movie could stop at a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of has 20 to 30 more minutes of movie. And I'm like, okay, I'm here with it. I'm cool. But I thought it was going to just end where it was going to. And then it kept going and had more of a resolution, I guess is how I would say it. But honestly, Emma Stone was great. The supporting cast, I loved. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know the actors' names, but like she has her two little kind of brothers. They're not her brothers, but kind of adopted brothers in a certain way. You'll see. And it's a real, Emma Thompson's also great in it. It's a really fun movie, and it's a fun twist on the Cruella 101 Dalmatians story. It's a cool origin story. Some people are comparing it to like the Disney version of Joker, which is, I think, a very loose comparison.
That's a fucking stretch. Let's be honest.
There are some parallels, but I would not go that far to be like, oh, this is a 1-for-1. Like, you can compare these two. No, not really. No. And what's funny, so it's really funny, Thomas, is both of these films are PG-13, A Quiet Place and Cruella. The complete opposite sides of the scale of PG-13. Because Cruella, I don't think they have one swear word in there. It's only PG-13 because of like some violence and maybe some of the themes, like that Cruella's not really like a great person. But obviously. Then Quiet Place, they swear, and there's freaking demon angel things like in the movie, and it's scary. But
I made it into the movie.
It's funny, Thomas, that like you kind of get some close-up shots of like the alien, like the monsters in the film, and it has some venom like teeth. I think it's funny.
Moving on. One sec, there was a thing. Julia says that's only like a half hour less than Jungle Cruise is gonna be. It's a damn good thing Jungle Cruise has Emily Blunt and The Rock to like satiate that time span.
It's gonna be that long?
I fucking name, man. I don't know.
All
I know is The Rock's in it, so I'll eventually see it.
Yeah.
My mom also said can't wait, so it sounds like Cruella is a go. Score. Up next, Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah.
Is this a dream pairing?
I mean, we'll wait and see. But basically, the news today is that we have this new quasi logo, and the new name is that after AT&T shed Warner Media, and Warner Media and Discovery are now going to combine and make a new company. That new company is officially called Warner Bros. Discovery. A lot of people do not like the design of this. They say it looks like Microsoft, whatever, 1990. I actually think it's okay because it's leaning into more of the what people think about when they think of how great Warner Bros. Is, and like the more classical, original Warner Brothers logo. So I'm actually in the camp where this image I don't think is great, and I don't really like the little like tagline of the stuff that dreams are made of. That seems like a 5-year-old could have written that. I don't know if that was really necessary, but
don't make fun of my logo. What are you thinking? I'm gonna throw you out of the window like that meme.
I do like the name though. Warner Bros. Discovery. That works for me. For anything they were gonna do, I like that they're going back to Warner Brothers and kind of like putting that on a pedestal, because that's what people know and that's what people love.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers. That is name recognition, and I'm hoping this, We'll see what they do when it comes to streaming services with HBO Max and Discovery Plus, if they'll make one or if they'll bundle. But I would like, in general, them to change the HBO Max name to something with Warner Brothers, because I feel like the HBO Max name is something that AT&T came up with that it doesn't really make sense. They just put HBO Max, or they made it HBO just because people would know HBO, but it's not really that. HBO is just a part of HBO Max, and I think that's bad marketing and advertising for them, because people just think it's a level higher of HBO when it's not at all. There's so much more on there that's like the majority of it's not from HBO. There is everything on HBO in there, which is great, but there's so much more of a vast library and original content. So I hope they do change that name eventually too. Thomas, you saw this. What were your thoughts?
Hopefully Warner Brothers will stop fucking up, was my thought. I can't even lie, dude. We've made jokes about former bros a lot on this show, and really it's not actually fair to be like that to Warner Brothers. And I shouldn't say Warner Brothers will keep fucking up. AT&T most definitely was what was the issue with Warner Brothers, Warner Media. I mean, again, Justice League happened at the time of the AT&T merger, right? It didn't start out with a great note. So hopefully it's leadership under the banner of Discovery. Maybe they'll discover what made them great and do that again. Or better yet, well, I mean, if they do that, that means just create new stories and see what happens. Let's keep doing that, Warner Brothers Discovery. I would concur. I would like more of that.
Yeah.
I would like more of these positive notes. Now to some strange note, I suppose. Avengers Campus. Why so jelly, David?
I mean, I am jealous because it can't come to Disney World because of a contract that Disney and Universal signed back before I was born in 1994, which is frustrating. But
you weren't even born?
I was not. That's the year my brother was born, actually. But anyway.
I remember that year vividly.
I do not. But anyway, I guess Universal does, because they're still sticking to this dumb contract that, I mean, it makes sense. You know, they have their Islands of Adventure Marvel World in Universal Orlando. But anyway, Avengers Campus is opening at Disneyland, California Adventure, I believe, tomorrow, Friday. It looks awesome. There's a new Spider-Man ride, web shooters. I have a whole list here of, what I think is like the coolest things there. So there's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which has already been a ride there. That's like the Tower of Terror remake. Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, which is the new Spider-Man ride. Avengers Headquarters. Pym Test Kitchen, which looks fun. Shawarma Palace, which is so cool. And then an Avengers Quinjet Experience, which is opening in Phase 2. So not quite open yet, but Phase 2 of Avengers Campus, there'll be an Avengers Quinjet Experience. There's also characters running around, and there's a cool Spider-Man animatronic that does a big old swing and flies through the air, and it's super rad. And I've made it a bucket list goal to get to Disneyland, and I've never been to California, so just getting to California and hopefully getting to Disneyland someday. I want to check this out so bad, because there's no sign of this coming to Disney World, which I love and been to, a lot over my life, anytime soon. So I'm hoping to get here one day and check out Avengers Campus, because honestly, Marvel and Disney, that's just my worlds colliding, and I'm sad I can't be there right now. And I definitely want to check it out someday. And it's so cool to see that it's actually, the Avengers kind of coming to life and being a part of Disney is just a really awesome idea. And it honestly, to me, it looks better than Galaxy's Edge, which I've been kind of critical of at Hollywood Studios. It's also in Disneyland, which is like the Star Wars land. Thomas, do you have any thoughts on this?
Get ready for this long diatribe. It's about time.
2 thumbs up.
Thor does not have baby arms. Thor has wrapped filming. You're welcome. And can we watch it now? David? Can we watch it now?
No, but
this is some fracking horse shoot.
Sometime soon. This movie is coming comes out in a year. So that's relatively soon. Less than a year, like 11 months.
So far away.
Hey man, we've been waiting a long time for all these movies, but look how absolutely ginormous Chris Hemsworth looks. And I think in part it's because he's going to be Hulk Hogan soon. And he's having to beef up and beef up and beef up and beef up. And he's never looked bigger. He looks ginormous. I mean,
he's a stacked listen, from the South, they'll call that a stacked shit house right there, man, because he'll knock the shit out of you. Yoked. And seriously, I just wanted to, I was happy that you put this in here because I knew that this joke would make the show. All I could think about when I saw this was Thor going, baby arms. What? Baby arms. You have baby arms. Pick a color. It's hideous. And then he runs into the thing. Go again. All I can think about. And all I can think is just Thor took that shit fucking personally.
Yeah.
It was like, look at that. I really hope they interact. And he goes, who has baby arms now? Now that he's got that small arm, that little Bruce Banner arm.
I mean, after that, when he became Bro Thor in Endgame, I mean, Bro Thor is dead. You know, if any fans were worried about Bro Thor continuing on, because some were like, oh man, okay, that was fun for that one movie, but I don't want to see him in a solo movie like that. No, he's gone. And it's cool also seeing Taika Waititi back as Korg. You know, Korg's a really fun character and he's great as him. And this movie just seems like it's going to be so much fun. I almost just, at this point, I'm hoping it's just, they rein it in a little bit. Like, it seems like this movie is going to be really wacky crazy. And I hope it's still, you know, reeled in enough where the story is great and
fair.
You know,
okay.
And you know what I mean? Where it's not just like so distractingly crazy. Because there was even those set photos of Hemsworth and like, he looks like he's like a 70s tennis player with like a headband and stuff. And we know, obviously.
Listen, don't you talk shit about one of my future cosplays now, man. I need some of these easy Thor cosplays, all right? It hurts wearing foam for like 13 hours and not being able to eat or drink enough. All right? It's painful on my kidneys and my liver. I need some. Here's what I really want, David. I need to find that red leather jacket. Or that red leather vest. I need that. I can make everything else outside of that work. That's what Daddy wants.
Here's the thing, though. Knowing Taika Waititi, he's great at balancing the tragic with the comedic. I mean, he really has done a great job of that in the films and even Mandalorian episodes I saw him direct, where like he's great at the balance of making you laugh 1 second and then making you feel and maybe want to even cry the next. Jojo Rabbit's the best example. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like Jojo Rabbit, I mean, that's clearly the best example of how he was able to do that. And yeah, I mean, I have full faith in this. I'm not trying to like get at that. I'm worried at all. I think it's going to be so much fun and a great movie, but it's going to be a lot and I can't wait for it. And we're only like less than a year away. So I'm glad they finished up filming and now they got to get to the hard part.
It's about time. Well, I'm gonna stay here, though, because Lightning Bros have a new suit. Oh my god, David, do we like this new upgrade?
On initial glance, I don't like it more. This is obviously a behind-the-scenes set photo. But I liked the bigger logo and I liked how it was like illuminated. I do like the texture of the suit. Like that looks cool to me, almost a little bit more like Man of Steel. And even like over his like shoulders or chest, like that kind of whatever you call that sort of design is cool. And you know, it looks a bit more serious, which I think may give us a little bit of a hint as to maybe the tone of this movie. But I think it looks cool. Do I think it looks better than the first one? No, I don't think. I'm not like, holy crap, it looks so great. It's so much better. Because I thought the first one was really good for what it was, for it being you know, Shazam, who is a kid, and it's like this just like glowing red suit. Thomas, so did you think it was an upgrade? What were your thoughts on this brand new suit we got today?
I do think it's an upgrade. I like the old suit a lot, but you know me, David, I'm a suit guy. I love a damn good suit. Whether it be a one-piece, a base of armor, a three-piece suit, a bow tie, whatever it may be, I'm going to rock that shit well. This is the first time that I'm like, oh, Shazam can go up against The Rock's Black Adam. And that's what it actually gives me vibes of, is more of Black Adam than it does Shazam. I mean, the color scheme is Shazam, but the design looks so much more gritty in terms of the suit itself, and it looks like he can go one on one. Excuse me, I did that wrong. He can go 1-on-1 with the Great One. That's a wrestling reference, David. I know you don't understand those, but
I got that one. And even Zachary Levi's face in this, it's a little more serious. You know, he looks a little more determined and kind of doesn't look like he's cracking a joke.
Not as many. And it's called Fury of the Gods, which just and it's interesting that that's filming at the same time as Black Adam.
But you know what's wacky about all that? So they are. You're right. They're both filming at the same time, and even Black Adam, I believe, started filming a little bit before.
Yes, they did.
Black Adam comes out significantly later than Shazam 2, which is really odd. But I think we'll get a crossover between them two eventually, maybe in a third Shazam / second Black Adam crossover movie, which I think we're all looking forward to. And I hope in these next two with Shazam Fury of the Gods and the Black Adam, origin or whatever you want to call it, first film with The Rock, I hope they do immediately make those connections with us. And maybe there is a cameo here or there. Because they, exactly as you said, similar to, say, No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, they were also both filming at the same time. And we know those crossover a little bit. So maybe a similar situation here.
Hey, David, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have a brother that lives in California?
Yes, that's my brother Ross. Thanks, Ross.
Hilarious. I was just going back through the comments and I was like, hey, look at that shit.
That's a good point, Ross. You're not very close to Disneyland, but hey, we can make it work.
Julia said she's gonna try and go during D23 Expo next summer.
D23 Expo, yeah.
No,
cool,
whatever, man. Yeah. She also says that she likes Galaxy's Edge is better just because of the nature of Star Wars lending itself more to an immersive theme park land. But Avengers Campus looks so fun, and I literally still have not gone to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with Galaxy's Edge, just real quick, is that they did a new thing with where the land that they're at or the planet, and it
Batu.
Batu, yeah.
Would you like some history on Batu?
Sure.
Thrawn and Anakin Skywalker once went to Batu, and then they took down a separatist army droid that was implementing some sort of energy absorption technology into the droid so that they could then work it into the clone trooper armor as they did the Jedi Purge. Then, after the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire, the Grand Admiral Mithron Nuodo and Darth Vader were sent back to Batu and Mokivja to take down what turned out to be dangers from the unknown regions known as the Grisk. I have never once heard about anything about Batu until that book. And now I'm like, let's go.
I was gonna say you'll probably appreciate it a lot more than I did.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I would just say I think it would have been a little more neat to see more. You walk in, and I think it would have been better to see stuff you immediately recognize. And there is stuff like that when it comes to Millennium Falcon.
Tatooine hangar.
Yeah, like Tatooine or Coruscant or something. But yeah.
While we're on this tangent town, we're not talking about Shazam anymore. We're talking about Star Wars. David, have you heard about that Star Wars hotel?
Oh yeah,
that you're not allowed to leave, and it's what? I mean, if you're gonna give me a whole story and I don't have to leave the damn bed, let's go.
It's gonna be that.
Let's go.
That hotel's
David.
Be
let's
insane.
go.
Fully immersive. Yeah.
Here's what I really want. Since before we get back to the news. I want one of those new lightsabers that have been revealed on May 4th.
The retract ones, yeah.
Yeah, I want one. I need to break it down, learn how it works, and make a bunch more myself. And then I need one in every hilt from every character, because why would I not have a bunch of lightsabers? It would be a fine addition to my collection.
Yeah, I forget what they said. I think that was along with them talking about the hotel. I forget what it's even called, the Galactic Cruiser, I think.
Yeah.
think that's it. And I think they're only going to be sold in there initially, something like that. But yeah, I'm curious to see a better look, because that was like one little tiny glance at it. I'm curious to see how that looks actually in real life, in your hand, like really what it looks like. But it looks, I mean, let's be honest, that's awesome. That's the dream of actually having a blade of some kind being able to actually go up and down. That's looks cool like that.
Yeah. To quote Kylo Ren, more. Spuckum and MCU crossover potentiality. David, is it real?
It's definitely real. I mean, here's the thing. So Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group president, Sanford, let's see if I can get this right. Sanford Panich. I'm going to go with Panich. He spoke to Variety.com. And today I'm going to read through some of the quotes in there. Go check out that article. It's on Variety. It kind of gets into like the possibilities and the history of like what's going on with Spider-Man, Sony, Marvel Studios, and Disney, and what the future could hold. But he says some really interesting things in here. Starting with this. He says, "We don't really think of our 900 characters as the Spideyverse. We have a Marvel universe. The volume of characters we have, wait until you see Venom. You don't miss Spider-Man. It'll be exciting if they do meet," right? Like he was asked about, I believe he was asked about if Spider-Man could be in it. And he kind of like laughed and goes, "It'll be exciting if they do meet," right? Anyway, it's crazy to think that Sony has 900 Marvel characters just from Spider-Man, basically. And the fact that, I think that quote specifically tells me that they are very confident and willing to continue to use their characters. I don't think they're going to sell them away anytime soon. You saw the success of Venom. I mean, $800 million for a Venom movie, which is remarkable, really. And it's cool. He goes, wait till you see Venom, meaning Venom 2. And it's like, you won't even miss Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, this is, it makes me more excited, I guess, for it, where it's like, they're going to keep building this out. Obviously, in the Morbius trailer from like forever ago, we saw Adrian Toomes show up, Vulture from Homecoming. So we know they're expanding. Here we go. A little more going on here. There actually is a plan. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're heading. And I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed, which is, I guess, obvious to some people that have been paying attention, where if they're going to continue this Spider-Verse thing and they're going to continue sharing the character, and if No Way Home is a multiversal traveling movie, that in that movie they would set up something between the Sony Venomverse, let's say, and the MCU. I know some people have construed that as this could be, and I think even me and Thomas have speculated about this, but some people have looked at this quote specifically that's brand new and said, does that mean they could write him off, of the MCU, or not write him off, but maybe send him into the Sonyverse for a while and not necessarily be in the MCU? I don't know. To me, it reads more like, hey, in No Way Home, there's going to be some crazy crossovers, and it's going to be explained how, let's backtrack 1 second. 2019, Feige goes, oh, Spider-Man's, after they re-upped on their new contract, he goes, oh, Spider-Man's the only character that can cross over universes. People keep forgetting about that, and I think that's important.
I didn't.
Exactly. So I think it's important, where I think we're going to get Spider-Man in the Venomverse, or whatever, the Spuckum.
Sony universe of Marvel characters. They have earned some distinguished name.
There you go. That he will be in there at some point. Okay, so going along now. This is now talking about with the possibility of re-upping with the Marvel, because right now the new contract is only for 2 films. A Spider-Man solo movie, which is No Way Home, and then a MCU movie, which Spider-Man will appear in, which everyone believes is Multiverse of Madness.
You see.
The great thing is we have this very excellent relationship with Kevin Feige. There's an incredible sandbox there to play with. We want those MCU movies to be absolutely huge because that's great for us and our Marvel characters. And I think that's the same thing on their side. But we have a great relationship. There's a lot of opportunities, and I think that a lot of opportunities, I think, that are going to happen. And you know, that's something that I think people lose sight of a lot, is that every comic book studio out there wants other comic book movies to succeed because they just want the genre to be just growing and more popular, because it helps everyone. So Marvel, you know, MCU movies want Sony movies to do well, and vice versa, and DC, and I mean, it all works around. Before with Fox and X-Men, like everyone wanted everyone to succeed, just not take away from their money, just basically keep building up the genre. Let's move on. This is the almost last quote. It's tough because I think these projects are the kind of things we have to work on in the dark. They're not ready until they're ready. Craven is a great example. The new Craven the Hunter movie that's in the works.
Yes.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Cool.
Because we
did not see that coming.
We just didn't rush it. That's true. We've heard about that Craven, you know, project for years now. We could have made that 3+ years ago. It's just now the script's awesome. JC was the right choice, the writer, and he found the movie star because it was just kismet. And watching this other movie and realizing that could be the perfect casting, and then he finally ends. I think this is the part. I took it kind of out of context. Shoot. Basically, I forget what he was talking about, but I think he was talking about. Oh, that was it. Sinister Six. He was asked about Sinister Six because they are growing a lot of, you know, there's after Morbius, Carnage, Venom, Craven, he was asked about a Sinister Six, and he goes, it would be very cool, wouldn't it? And I guess he like kind of chuckled at that, where, you know, back in 2014, they were building to a Sinister Six movie that was in the works, and I think they might finally come around to it. Thomas, I just talked a lot about another man's words, and I want to hear your thoughts on his words, because I read all through all this. You know, we wrote a bunch of articles on the direct.com about it. It's very exciting to me. Kind of honestly, either way it goes, like with Tom Holland Spider-Man, I think it could be interesting either way, even if he kind of crosses back and forth, like Feige kind of alluded to previously. But you know, these brand new comments coming off the heels of a lot of speculation and leaks and rumors about No Way Home. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so the extra leaks of No Way Home I only saw because of Twitter and following all the folks from the direct, so it's bound to pop up eventually. I hate being in the know. I won't lie to you.
I know it comes with the job description.
Like when it comes, for real. Like I've talked about. There's one character I want them to bring back, and I want it to be Green Goblin, and I want it to be done right. And they're like, oh, we might bring back Willem Dafoe. Don't give me hope. And if you fucking tease me, I will be so pissed if it doesn't happen. Because that's the one I want more than anything, because that was the perfect Green Goblin. And he was over the top and maniacal, and yet it seemed to just fit. So just imagine that in the MCU, you know, is what I look at it as. But here's my actual thoughts. Of course, there's a plan. There's always a plan. Whether or not the plan succeeds is the question, of course. The quote that I find the most interesting is, I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed. And I think when No Way Home comes out, eventually even more will be revealed. And I think it's going to come down to the Andrew Garfield of it all being the Spider-Man that goes across Tom Hardy. I feel like that is the perfect tone to go back and forth with. And we've talked about it ad nauseum on this show, and it's because we're right. I'll say it. I'll be a dickhead. We're just right. We're right. Andrew Garfield should be the one that goes against Tom Hardy and
Carnage and the rest of those morons that aren't as cool as me. Venom, I am awesome. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I hope it's real. I hope we just get more Spider-Man. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that there can be multiple Peter Parkers or multiple Spider people. To quote Kylo Ren, more. But you know what we want more of, and what a beautiful segue we just had. The No Way Home teaser not go off David's solo camera.
I think the audience likes seeing you react to what I say, but we can do solo as well. All right, guys. So basically, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, it didn't happen on June 1st, which was Tom Holland's birthday. And a lot of people speculated that it would happen that day with basically no reason other than the fact that it was Tom Holland's birthday, and Marvel Studios recently released the Shang-Chi trailer during Simu Liu's birthday back in April. And that was the only real connection, and that it could be, the timeline could work. I didn't think it was going to happen because I think they're going to want to release it later on in June, maybe even early July, and put it in front of maybe Peter Rabbit in a couple weeks, which is a Sony film, or in front of Universal's or in front of Marvel Studios' Black Widow at the beginning of July. That's not really what I want to talk about here. So there was a lot of leaks that came out, right? You saw them, Thomas. You just talked about how you saw some of them. I don't care, and we're not going to talk about them because this is my issue with everything going on right now when it comes to Spider-Man, and it's driving me absolutely bananas. So there's all these leaks coming out, and everyone's taking them so seriously, and we don't know, guys. We don't know. I'm in the mindset of I'm not going to believe anything now because I've read leaks, I've read this, I've seen that, whatever. I'm not going to do anything until I see it in an official Sony Pictures, Marvel Studios teaser, poster, whatever. We really, truly, we know Alfred Molina's in it because he's literally just blatantly talked about it. But we really don't know that much about this movie, even though everyone assumes that. And that's not even what I'm most upset about. What I'm most upset about is that because of this movie, everyone has already made up their mind about it. It's crazy. I'm already seeing where, if it is about the multiverse, that sucks. They shouldn't do that. I don't want to see that movie. Of course, you're going to go see it, first off. Secondly, no, if it now I'm going to be so let down if it is not multiversal. If people saying if I don't see Matt Murdock in it, I'm going to walk out of the theater. Absolutely ridiculous. There has been Sony. I mean, they're getting free advertisement. Let's be real. But there's all these leaks are just people in my head where it seems like everyone's already made up their mind about the movie, which I find ridiculous when we've gotten a name and 3 stills of main characters from the first 2 films that looks nothing even like a Spider-Man, nothing multiversal. We don't know. I don't know. Andrew Garfield said he's not in it. Who knows if he was lying because he wouldn't outright say he was. We don't know. But I think the fact that also there's a corner of Spider-Man fans that really irritates me because I love Spider-Man. He's the reason I love comic movies. He's the reason I eventually am doing this show, writing for the Direct, doing all these things because he's where I started with comic books and comic book movies and superheroes in general. He's my favorite. And, you can have your own opinions. You can like the original trilogy the most. You can like the Amazing Spider-Man duology or whatever you want to call it the most. You can like the MCU the most. You can have your own opinion. I have my own opinions. I mean, I like all Spider-Man movies. Of course, I can nitpick, say Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I can nitpick all of them and, poke out flaws. But where we're at right now as Spider-Mans in general, where you have to just be stuck in one camp of, the MCU's the best for this and that, or no, the MCU sucks for this and that, and how it's not comic book accurate and all this stuff. Here's the thing that I don't understand just in general. In my mind, and it's kind of getting ruined in a way because of everyone on Twitter and just the internet and with this movie, the fact that there's been a possibility that we're going to get Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire on the same screen together, it gives me chills right now. That is an all-time dream of mine to see 3 live-action Spider-Man characters or actors that I love all of them, truly. And seeing them all on the big screen together, I mean, I'm going to be an emotional wreck if that actually is what happened. So in my head, that's not happening. I'm going to wait and see. If they tell me it is, I'm going to go in the theater. And I've read the leaks and everything. But the fact that people are already, just getting these preconceived notions about if the movie's this, I don't like it. If the movie's that, I don't like it. And it's like, why are we trying to divide people on a movie that is clearly here literally just for the fans? I mean, this could be, if the leaks are true and we're getting all three of them and we're getting old villains back, it's the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's the most fan service film, probably just behind Endgame. And for Spider-Man fans ever, you know, like for Spider-Man fans, this could be like an Endgame like crossover. And I mean, and who knows? That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't really know. So we got to kind of, I think as a community of Spider-Man fans or whatever, we got to pump the brakes on what this movie is. And already months, way before this movie even comes out, deciding in our heads what, if it's good, if it's not, what we want to see in it, because we don't know. We're not the filmmaker.
Oh boy, you muted yourself. You're muted. Technology. You just cut out in the middle of a diatribe.
Hey, I think it was a sign. I'm getting worked up. I mean, I'm coming from a place, I guess, guys, where I like all the Spider-Man movies, let's be honest. And I just don't like seeing an event like what could be No Way Home. And even if No Way Home is not this multiversal crazy thing, it's still going to be a great movie with Tom Holland and Alfred Molina coming back and whoever else. And I think it's really going to be a blast, like no matter what it is. And I'm tired of, because of this movie, also seeing fans dig their heels into, oh, like Andrew Garfield was the best, like poking holes in Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like relentlessly making fun of Tobey Maguire. It's like, it's so unneeded. And it's just the opposite of what I think this movie should be about. If it is this grand crossover event, it should be about bringing fans together and just being a celebration of Spider-Man. And honestly, I guess I'm just kind of disappointed in people because it's kind of it's just upsetting for me, because I think true Spider-Man fans, and you can have your own opinions, I think a lot of it's more clickbait, or not clickbait, but like clout and just getting people's attention. And people like to choose sides. You know, fans are getting more and more divisive. For
no fucking reason.
Correct. Like in Star Wars, you know, like no one can just sit down and honestly, in general, in life, you know, you can't just sit down with someone and have a conversation anymore.
You're right.
Like people just have their own opinions and that's it. And it's like you get quote unquote canceled or cut off if you have anything other. And I don't know. This is, I mean, and that could go down a whole different rabbit hole, but this is just Spider-Man, guys. Like, we're getting a trilogy. All the Spider-Man. We'll see what it even is. I'm excited for whatever it is. I cannot wait for a teaser, just because I want an official look, and I'm over it. We need to hit the reset button on this movie, because I think, honestly, June 1st, there was a tipping point of, like, anticipation, and the leaks were piling up, and I feel like people were just, like, going mad in a way. And yes, I think
you were.
Yeah, and I think we just kind of need a second to breathe, know that a trailer is coming. A real movie is being made here, whatever it will be. You know, like I feel like that's also another thing where it seems like people, it's like a, I don't know, like a dream to some people. Like it doesn't even feel real, but to me, it doesn't feel real in some ways. Reading some of the leaks,
I'm a real boy.
All right, Thomas, do you have any thoughts on what's going on with Spider-Man, or can we just move on and shut me up like the system tried to a few minutes ago?
Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Spins a web. No, he doesn't. Why not? He's a pig. Da-da! Spider Pig. Yeah, we're going to take a brief break because I don't have jack shit to say about that. Except for I called that it wouldn't drop on that date because it was too close to Eternals, and one person listened to me. Their name is David. We'll be right back after the break. We'll be right back in. We'll be diving deep into our probably very short main topic of Loki. JBauerArt has the graphic design skills you need to develop your next logo and at an affordable price. But he's not just a one-trick pony. Follow JBauerArt on social media to interact during live paintings and see all of his previous artwork, which you can buy exclusively at JBauerArtShop.com. Not only is he an artist, this beautiful son of a blue brings you the Back Talk with Bauer podcast every week with unique guests, and every month he hosts a special Back Talk with Friends episode that can only be described as chaotic and hilarious. Need a video intro or commercial? JBauerArt has you covered. For all of this and more, follow JBauerArt on social media. That's JBauerArt. Check out JBauerArt.com for a full portfolio and JBauerArtShop.com to buy that special painting for you and your loved ones. Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Brian Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels. And we are back. Welcome to the main topic. We don't have a graphic this week because time is relative. We're talking Loki. We are 6 days away from another fracking resurrection of my brother, Loki. And we're talking the 3 things we want to see from Loki. This idea was pitched by, of course, that beautiful son of a bitch right there. So I'll let him take it away.
Yeah, sure, guys. So I thought this would be a fun way to kind of preview Loki. Obviously, it starts next week, Wednesday, June 9th. The 6-part series will kick off. I just thought me and Thomas could quickly kind of go through 3 things we want to see from Loki. Nothing that we're predicting, but more of, what we want to see. Also, I guess predictions are kind of thrown in there.
Well, yeah, but also in the comments, go ahead and leave us what 3 things you want to see from Loki.
Yes, please. 3 things, 1 thing, whatever you guys really just want to see out of this series, because it could go a lot of different directions. So here's my 3. The first one is I wrote this kind of simply, a live action what if, kind of like in the same vein of the What If series, which is going to be a multiversal storytelling, I guess, where each episode will tell a different story from a different universe, and it's an animated series, so it's a little bit different. But the fact that in Loki, we could, jumping through time, and as we know, in time, in the MCU, time and space and reality is kind of all connected. So I think seeing different alternate realities in this show, I mean, the show basically is living in one. The fact that this new 2012 variant of Loki poofed away and escaped with the Tesseract in Endgame, it created a branch, and they have to restore the flow of time, which is a super cool concept, and I'm excited for the show. But I hope we do get some cool alternate reality shots and moments where it's like, oh my gosh, this world's gone to crap, or this one's got something else going on that's totally different or interesting, or just seeing, our world specifically, in different realities, I think would be really, really cool. Another thing that goes right along with that, my number 2 thing I want to see is major cameo. I know there's that one shot where, like Loki is calling for the Bifrost, Heimdall, and Thor. So I'm like talking to them. Like Heimdall and Thor, and it's like, I want to see Thor in this. It's a Loki series. I want to see Thor. I want to see Odin. I want to see somebody that's connected to the original, Thor films that Loki's from. And so far Marvel's kept it very hush hush on if any other actors or characters being in this series. There really hasn't been much word on when it comes to like other previously established heroes or villains appearing in this show. And I hope there are some surprise cameos that kind of like light the internet on fire, because those are always so much fun.
Yes.
The next one is my final thing I want to see is just this 2012 Loki causing all kinds of mischief. You know, in the trailer, seeing how Owen Wilson's Mobius is trying to get him to work with the TVA and help restore the flow of time because he messed it up, right? But we know this is the 2012 Loki. He's not all that redeemable yet, right, guys? And I hope that he really is a continuation of the Avengers Loki, who still hasn't quite had his redemption arc. You know, in this case, his mother hasn't passed away yet, which happens in Thor: The Dark World, which I think is a moment that kind of softens him up. And then he ultimately ends up just kind of like acting as Odin and throws Odin in a retirement home in New York. But anyway, or not in New York, on Earth. Where was the retirement home?
It was at Shady Oaks retirement home in New York City.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and Shady Acres, because it's the same retirement home from South Park.
Yeah. So I mean, basically with that one is I just want to see this Loki break away from the TVA and start doing his own thing, causing his own mischief that could lead to a season 2, which I think that is the direction this series could go with because of its, you know, this series has a great opportunity to directly affect the main MCU timeline when it wants to. And not do it when it doesn't want to, which is awesome. Which is great. And I hope we get all kinds of Lokiisms in this and him causing all kinds of mischief. And an honorable mention is Owen Wilson's Mobius saying, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, my impersonation went bad. I was like, wow.
Wow.
I should know. I just watched Cars 1 and 2.
Wow.
All right, Thomas, what's your... Everyone in the comments, let us know yours. Comments, what's your top 3 things you want to see out of Loki?
All right, number 1. It's funny. Julia and I were chatting back and forth about Loki earlier, and I was like, wait till you see my top 3. Number 1, Loki learned his lesson faster than the first time. Kind of going the opposite of where David goes at the end of his. I want to see if he can learn how to do something for someone other than himself in a faster pace, or at least to the point where he's like, hey, maybe I'll do all of these good things just so that I can do what I want in the end. Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody does on Earth anyway, right? So you do a few good things so that, like I do a few good things at work so I can get time off easier when I have to go away and film for a week or two, you know? That's just how things work. So that's what I want. I hope, you know, he can learn some stuff. It looks like he's going to see his heroic moment of, your savior has arrived.
Yeah.
So that looks like we're going to get it. Like, you've done great things, man. Wow. I'm going to weasel that in. You know, I really wanted a live action What If. That was going to be my first thing. And then you put that. So I had to change it a little bit. I want to see the multiverse relationship with time exposed to us in some form or fashion from the TVA. Which brings us to this comment that I was 100% going to hop into. An explanation. This is coming from Julia Delbel. I want an explanation of why Loki is in trouble with the TVA, but why Cap, who created his own timeline, and the Avengers, who created the timeline branch, are not. Interesting. Yes, good. I like that. I'm intrigued. I have a feeling that will be explained, and I think it's going to come down to Loki being Loki.
I know, it's funny. Someone, I forget who in the direct Slack brought that up the other day. It probably was Julia because she's saying it. I hadn't thought about that because it's like, what? Okay, where does the TVA draw the line? And I hope it's not one of those things where fans have to like kind of, you know, where it's one of those moments where I remember like Matt Shackman, I believe. Oh, hi, Skylar. Matt Shackman. Was that his name? The director for WandaVision, where he had those moments when he was hearing all of the rumors or like the I guess kind of the speculation of what's going on in WandaVision, where it's like, oh man, the fans are kind of smarter than we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that could be one of those moments where it's like, we don't get an answer for that, but we should, you know, that we deserve that. And I think because just that. I mean, people want that journey to be shown on television, or at least give it to us in a what if, or not a what if, but an animated thing. I mean, that would be easy to get Evans in a booth for a couple hours. Come on, guys, let's get that journey of Captain America putting back everything in its place. Yeah. You like that idea, Thomas?
So much. I'm actually tearing up. That's awesome. I want that story so bad that you're like, just make it animated. And I was like, yes.
Easy enough.
Yes, we need more. We need more.
They're doing two animated series. They're already doing What If, and they're going to do I Am Groot. I Am Groot's animated.
I forgot about I Am Groot. I don't know what that is.
It's going to be like the kids show of the bunch.
What I mean is I don't know what the plot of that is. So I'm like,
I don't think anyone does, except maybe Feige and James Gunn.
Well, as the folks at the direct.com podcast say, you know, the 3 F's, the rule of the F's, Feige, Filoni, and Favreau. Feige's there.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the plot. I don't know if he's frozen or I'm frozen. Hopefully it's him and not me. Multiverse relationship with time. I also am wondering, because it's going to be multiverse and we are dealing with time, and time affects the multiverse differently, I'm hoping. Are we going to get different versions of our characters? There's a scene where, and I've talked about it on this show before, that the Loki is doing something, and there's a big, tall, brutish man wearing Viking attire and carrying a big ass hammer that looks like the Thor hammer from the Marvel's Avengers game. It's not exact. It's not a 1-for-1, but it's in that same Viking style. And I'm wondering, is that going to be Thor from a different multiverse? Are we going to get Thor in a different race? And that's going to be what sets up in terms of other audience. Oh, well, in Loki, we saw a different version of Thor than Chris Hemsworth. So will it be hey, here's a version of all the Peter Parkers? You see how he brought it back to the Spider-Man? We want more pictures of Spider-Man.
Hey, Thomas, have you seen the J. Jonah Jameson Twitter? It's always in the replies of like direct MCU post, and it's he's like it's almost like a J. Jonah Jameson like burner account where he always just like replies to everything, and it's just like all caps exclamation like like kind of like saying like what J. Jonah Jameson would be reacting to whatever the little like news is and stuff, and it always makes me chuckle anyway.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I had two ideas here. One comes from Julia. She says, I want to see Cap's confrontation with Vormir with Red Skull. I agree. And then thinking about that explanation of Cap, what if Cap is in Loki, David?
I mean, I'd like to see that.
Right?
I doubt it, but
I doubt it as well. But like,
I hope there's at least like, hey, here's the thing, Thomas. Let me like just visioning right now. Remember in the trailer, you see like Mobius and Loki sitting at a table, and you can like see all of Loki's like what he's been up to on like a screen.
Yeah.
Well, how about like it cuts to Cap doing something, and it's like, oh yeah, what about him? Like, what if Loki's like, oh, what about him? And then he like just throw like some line, and it's like, oh well, it's Captain America. No, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm hoping they don't explain it as, and I'm really hoping they explain it as like, well, we talked to him, and he's not a threat to the timeline. He just
he restored it. He helped. Yeah,
exactly. And maybe that's the explanation, especially for the Avengers. But like, what if? Like what since we're in the what if segment of the show, what if we get 2020 whatever Steve Rogers and meets 2012 Loki, and he's like, Loki. He's like, oh, you blah blah blah. He's like, so is that what happened to the Tesseract into the 2012 variation? And it's like, yes, that's what happened. Huh. How about that? What's he talking about? Oh, nothing. You'll find out. Like, I would love that one scene. Give it to me, Marvel. Give it to me. See, Julie agrees it would be cheap. Skylar says Waldron teased other Lokis.
Well, yeah, there's like Lady Loki.
That I'm onto something. Ooh,
yeah, I think we're definitely gonna get other versions of Loki, and not just like Hiddleston.
Yes. Let's be real. Richard E. Grant's gonna be an old Loki.
Classic Loki,
the classic Loki. I want him in the leotard, and he'll be Richard E. Grant. Like, that would be amazing.
Okay, I forgot to mention this, Thomas. Sorry to cut you off. Apologize. One thing that I'm really excited to see, that I know I'm going to see, is how they time travel. You know this, Thomas. Back to the Future is my favorite movie. I wrote an article for thedirect.com. You guys should check it out with Loki coming out. It was comparing a bunch of different not comic book, but time travel films to kind of how the MCU uses time travel, and how I tried to pick movies that all used it in a kind of unique way. But I love time travel movies and anything like this. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they use time travel, because we already have two forms of time travel in the MCU, the time stone, and then with the nanotech, or not nanotech, but the quantum realm and the Stark science behind it. So I think this TVA stuff, because the TVA is very advanced, they're from well into the future, and then they just continue to try to keep the time flow, like the flow of time in balance, I guess. And I'm curious to see how their time traveling will work. We've seen in the trailer, they go through like these little kind of
elevators.
And there's the elevators and like these kind of yellow transparent walls that kind of like blip through. And it's like, is that them just going to is there like a 1975 above it and you just walk through there and then you're 1975? Like, I don't know. But I'm excited to see how they travel, I guess, through space and time. And then I guess just how they time travel in general. If it is just that simple, like, is there a DeLorean they have to use, but not an actual DeLorean, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question. David, you know what would be amazing is if you watched Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
Would you like to know
that
why?
is a time travel show as well.
That's a time travel show, and I am doing some hard work right now to get some images so you can understand the insanity that is inside my head. I just did not want to put that there.
Well, you told me there's that one episode of Legends of Tomorrow that's kind of recent, where it's them jumping through like TV periods.
Yes, that is absolutely amazing as well. I cannot even front with that.
Yeah.
But the Time Courier, the Time Bureau, shows up in like episode 2 or 3 or whatever. And this is what happened. This is what it looks like when they go time hopping. It opens a genuine portal in space and time, basically like an elevator screen that they run
honestly through. Yeah, that looks kind of, I mean, if you've seen in the Loki trailers, there is that kind of like square, it's almost like a door, like I was playing that kind of transparent thing where it's like a portal of sorts. That's not exactly like the sling ring.
And yeah, exactly. And this literally opens up just like an elevator, like on Legends of Tomorrow. And that's why I'm like, yeah, it's the elevator of time. It's the TARDIS of time. I've obviously never seen Doctor Who, so that reference might have been made properly.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Final thing that I want. All the meta Easter eggs. Like, there needs to be time travel movie references. There needs to be mythology references. Like, we might be getting DB, whatever his name is, who like jumped out of a plane in 1972 with millions of dollars and was never heard or seen from again, and the plane was lost or something like that.
Yeah, that's like, I forget what the guy's name is, but that's like such a funny that's literally a meta Easter egg that's gonna be awesome. And there's gonna be more of those. You know, there's definitely gonna be more of those.
That's the stuff that like fills my heart with stupid love. I love meta stuff so much, dude. I go so meta on jokes that people go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh,
like,
Thomas,
son of a bitch.
I saw one meta joke, or that could have like Easter egg today on Twitter. Oh my gosh, it was I forget what the tweet was exactly, but it was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for when Loki travels to a universe where he is Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god.
He's an actor called Tom Hiddleston.
He literally like jumps in and Tom Hiddleston's there and like it shows up and we're just there. And I am Loki of Asgard.
Yeah.
They do the San Diego Comic-Con and he jumps to there. He's like, you're not Loki. I am Loki. Or what if they do that jump there and that's just Loki doing it? So then they're like, that's canon in our reality. Like,
whoa, that would be cool.
That's what I want.
You know what? Loki.
Feige's going to be like, son of a Bitch, they're smarter than us. That's what we need. Say my name. Fuck. Okay. That was my top 3.
Yeah,
there's some questions that we have from the audience really quick. What if Loki runs into Throg? Or for those that are unfamiliar with that name, it's Frog Thor.
I think I saw a rumor about that actually. I don't know, but that is not completely unfamiliar. I have a fear of frogs, so that doesn't sound very fun to me. But
you and our old boss, man.
I hate frogs. I think one got in once, and we were both like,
Yes, I do remember that. That was a fun time. I won't lie. And then, of course, Pop asks, what if they actually arrest Old Man Cap in the Loki series? And that explains why he's not in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Plausible, for sure. Intriguing. Why not just arrest Young Man Cap?
He's not on the moon, but he's in the TVA. Or what if he's on the moon doing TVA work?
Son of a bitch! Okay, so really quick, while we're here, there's a thing. There was a, what was it? Original Sin, maybe, is the name of it. And they killed the Watcher on the moon. What if Old Man Cap is the Watcher? What if Old Man Cap has the Easter eggs? No. I don't mean like the Watcher, but Old Man Cap is brought in as the Watcher. And what if they explain it as Stan Lee was our Watcher, and now that he has passed away, they need a new old man to do that. Like, think about that, man. That'd be dope.
That would be dope.
You know what also would be dope is if they did Deadpool that way.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the idea of Loki going to San Diego Comic-Con and actually trying to, and then realizing that, oh no, there's actually just an actor who looks like me. That'd be fun. Whoa. David, Sage has a major fear of frogs, so you're not alone.
Yep.
All right, I think we've got through all the questions in the comments. David, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me at my name, David Thompson, on Facebook, at David J. Thompson on TikTok and Instagram, and at David Thompson with 2 A's in the David on Twitter. Go follow me there. That's where I like to talk the most about this stuff. That's where I'm most active, keeping up with all the news and everything to do with what we speak on during our live show here at LightsThunderAction. Thomas, where can everyone find you?
You can find all of my social media links at Linktr.com. Linktr.com/TCRochesterACT, TCRochesterACT. There you'll be able to find my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, my website, IMDb, LightsThunderAction, Link, LightsThunderAction, Linktree, HWWS, everything. You know why? Because I am everywhere. So play nice, Sid. Thank you. Yes. I've been waiting.
I've been doing a Pixar rewatch, so that was a great time.
I've been waiting all day to like keep dropping in these Pixar, these Woody Webber. I stumbled myself, man. I stumbled myself on that. Anyways, back to the plot. David, you got anything to promote, my dude?
Yeah, just check everything out on thedirect.com. Everything I've been writing pretty regularly lately. I'm talking very fast. Just basically thedirect.com. We'll be covering a lot about Loki, all these things coming out of Marvel, Star Wars, DC, E3's coming up. We'll be covering that, PlayStation and Direct. PlayStation the Direct and Xbox the Direct, obviously, with E3 just around the corner. I'm excited. The Nintendo Direct is on my birthday, which I'm very excited. I love Nintendo. And yeah, check out my reviews of the High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 2 on the DizInsider.com, and my other articles going up there. New episode of that comes out tomorrow. Look out for a review of episode 4 will be tomorrow. A review of that will come up probably sometime this weekend, so please go check it out. And all of the great work everyone at the Diz Insider is doing, keeping up with all this Disney Parks news and Marvel news and everything else that has to do with the mouse. Thomas, is that all we got?
That's no.
Plug zombies.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 shows. It's going to be a 2-show week. Why? I hear you asking. Well, on Tuesday at a time, I believe, I'll double check that time. Tuesday, Alicia Marie, the writer, director, producer, star of Zombies, will be on to discuss zombies. Writing the script, filming, how much of a exhaustion, pain in the brain it is to write, direct, and act and produce a film. All that good stuff. She'll be on. We'll talk about how fun it is, how much fun we had. Hopefully she doesn't talk about all the stupid stuff I do on set, because that would be hilarious and awkward. And
I'll make sure that happens.
You'll make sure, son of a bitch. But that will be our normal show. We'll interview Alicia. Then we'll discuss some of the news. It'll only be 5 days since our last show, so who the hell knows what'll happen.
You never know.
But on Thursday, we will be doing a low-key special. We'll be talking episode 1 of Loki, and this could start a trend where we have 2 shows every week. It might not. Who the hell knows? Frak it. We'll do it live. Welcome to the theme of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, of course, we've reached the end of the show. As always, there could be no show without the Clark Kent doppelganger to my right, world famous journalist David Thompson, bringing the news and spicy webs. Thank you to Terry McIver for his hard work behind the scenes with guest socials and research, without whom this show would be very bush league. Thank you to the HWWS HWWS WebTV family for supporting us and carrying us on the network. Most importantly, thank you to you, our fans, for joining us weekly, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or listening via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
I fell asleep
Spotify.
at the wheel. My bad.
You're good. Spotify or Spreaker, we appreciate you spending your time with us.
Like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment, leave a review, and give us 5 stars if you're really feeling generous.
Thank you for joining episode 50. I'm sorry, my stomach is rumbling so hard right now that I can't even breathe. Thank you for joining episode 58 of Light Thunder Action. We've said goodbye before, so it stands to reason
we'll say hello again.
Bye.